What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're returning for another remix, and this is another remix from Minor Earth Major Sky, and it's a remix of Summer Moved On. So having just heard the demo of this with Paul on vocals, it'll be a nice sequence going through alternative versions of the album track. So yes, in the moment, I don't know what will be different here. I presume we're going to hear Morton again on vocals, and perhaps the fuller articulation of that changeover moment with the hanging vocal. But at the same time, given that it's a remix, I expect it to be at least somewhat sonically different. I suppose we'll find out. Let's give it a listen. This is a remix, which is not given a special title nor like a remix artist title. It's just a remix of Summer Moved On from the deluxe edition of the Minor Earth Major Sky album. A soul funk jazz feeling. scratching. That is cool. I like that a lot. Now, I'm going to maybe like prove myself wrong here, but I'm going to suspect that most Aha fans will not like that as much as the album version, and I suppose I'll put myself in that category, and yet I think it's a really cool version of the tune. The first half of the tune, it gave me this like jazz cafe type of feel. Again, a bit of a jazzy run, almost a bit of a like soul to the sonic atmosphere. In the latter half, it sort of switched more to like an early 90s pop meets R&B slash trip hop slash hip hop type of feel, like the kind of backing track that you would hear for an early 90s Madonna tune, which again, I make these comparisons, it's alright if people aren't fond of the other artists that I'm referencing, but the point is, like, a lot of Madonna's tunes and other artists in the early 90s, they were taking pop sounds and making them a bit more urban, mixing it a bit of R&B, a bit of trip hop, and in this case, not only was it that sort of beat structure, but there was even some scratching sounds, which, turntablism, and in fact, before that, I was hearing, I think, almost like those vinyl surface noise pops, and that, again, felt like we were maybe in a throwback, like, jazz cafe type of environment. So I feel like there was some sonic accompaniment or embellishments that gave it both, at first, like, sort of a jazz atmosphere, and then in the latter stages, kind of like a hip-hop feel. Luca, I hear you. What are you doing? But yeah, so it was like the track really got more of a sonic makeover than I was expecting, and definitely made it a bit more of a laid-back, mellow, smooth type of endeavor. Not that the album tune is highly energetic or up-tempo or anything, but it has a bit more power and a bit more drama, especially in those moments where Morton does those vocal extensions, and we didn't get that big orchestral flourish that dominates my experience with the album version of the track. So again, more different than I was expecting, but really cool. And as someone who likes jazz, as someone who likes trip hop and hip hop, and turntablism and so on, there were a lot of additions slash changes here that are very much down my musical street. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one, and I think it's one that I would put up on a similar level quality-wise with the album version, even if it's less Aha sounding, if that makes sense, which is why I'm suspecting that most fans would still prefer the album, like, normal version of the tune. But yeah, I think that's a really cool remix. Let me know if you agree, and Luca, the slightly off-camera cat, and I will see you next time. Peace.